Sales engineers can be a pivotal part of a growing SaaS organization. They sit in between the product and the technical teams and the sales teams. And their job is to distill down the complicated, complex processes and modules of their technology and help the sales teams to position that messaging and answer any technical questions during something like a demo or what prospective customers might need in terms of resources in the future. One of the challenges is there's only typically a small amount of engineers for a large amount of field sales staff. And so their time is limited and their knowledge is very, very valuable. So one of the things we've seen with growing organizations is they leverage something like iorad to distill down some of the knowledge in the sales engineer's head into easy consumable content that can be shared with their sales team to speed up a lot of those frequently asked questions so that sales engineers don't have to sit in the background of a demo just in case those one or two topics come up and they get stumped. So what they'll do is they'll use iorad to basically create different repositories of knowledge. So you can see here we're building help centers with different elements in mind. So if we had a product, for example, that had many different modules, they might create different help centers on each one of those modules and an explanation of what that looks like. So they'll build basically a library, and then within that library, a series of pieces of tutorials for each of those frequently asked questions that come up on demos. Now, the design here is not to take the sales engineer out of the sales process altogether. It's to help to facilitate or maximize their time. So if the sales engineer can create some of this content and share it with the sales reps, now the sales reps have this resource they can go to on a demo. So they can start to understand the content themselves, and they can go reach out and share this content on a demo verbally, or after on a follow-up call or email from the prospective customer, they can share that knowledge that way as well. The other element and application of iorad in sales engineering world is really around new products and updates. In the SaaS world, we're constantly adding new features and modules and settings depending on what the market demands. So sales engineers tend to have to be pulled into these discussions to help out with the reps who may be not as familiar with these new product rollouts. So they can also create content on those new features, share that with the prospective customers, share that with their reps, and help to have a guide so that demos don't end up being 5 hours long because they go through all the high-level elements and then all the new features get thrown in and the conversation just goes down a rabbit hole. So now they can have these new features created in a tutorial that they can share at their leisure, and they can drip out the content in a very consumable way to both their reps and the prospective customers.